I wanted to do kind of an update since I haven't talked to some of you for a while. Um, so I had, hey Moles. I was actually telling Moles a little bit earlier. Today is not a great day. Yesterday was not a great day. They were bad. They were bad days. Um, I think it's helping. I really do. Otherwise, I wouldn't continue. I mean, that would just be ridiculous. When you go in, everyone is very nice and very professional. And when you go in, they bring you into this room where the doctor is, and there's this table, and it's surrounded by machines, just shitload of machines everywhere. And so they sit you down on this bed, right? And they put an IV in you, and they start pumping in muscle relaxers. And then they knock you out. And usually it's fine. It's actually kind of cool. it's, it's a cool trip. There's so many things that have been coming up. I mean, shit, there's so many things. See, in graduate school, they never teach you about electroconvulsive therapy. You don't, other than like in the most academic sense. So I didn't have it from my school side, and I don't have it, and I'm getting it from being a patient. That's where I'm getting my experience. So what are things that have hit me? My memory. Sometimes things get very fractured, right? You know, where I may be in a room or talking with a person, and it doesn't, all of a sudden, just the meaning behind them, it goes away. It's like my brain is cutting ties with that memory, between memory and meaning. And I wasn't ready for that. When they talk about like memory loss, you can kind of come up with something, but to just start to forget your life, that's hard. Because we are our memories, And I forget to do shit. Like I'm struggling to remember the things I wanted to tell you about. And it's hard. I know, I am getting tics. Just horrid. Tics are, not like tics, but like convulsions, and I don't know where they're coming from. But like I will jump, and I'm also getting a sense of fear, which I'm not used to. I hate fear. I've never had to worry about it. That's just one of the things that made me awesome. Is I just honestly, I just didn't have it. That's why I could go through a war and it not really impact me too much. Too much. No, the fear. So now things in my peripheral vision fucking freak me out. I wasn't ready for that. No one told me about that. I don't like it. I don't like fear. I'm not used to it. It's very uncomfortable. I cry a lot. A lot. And it's not necessarily bad things. It's just, I just do. I can't quit. I've got to keep going. I saw my therapist today and she was really cool. She was really helpful. Takes a lot to be like my therapist. One is like, it takes a lot for me to even have you be my therapist. But I also have like weird things like having to go through ECT but she was really cool. And she was really patient and understanding. And I like that she not just understands this world that we're in, but she respects this world. She sees the value in the streaming. She sees the value in my relationships. They're not something she does. That's okay. She's cool with that. And I'm cool with her being okay with that. This sounds so dumb, but I'm just being honest with you. When you hear ECT and you hear things about like, oh, you won't have to worry about depression anymore. Like, what does that mean to you? I know what it meant to me, and I was wrong. Shit. Because because I wasn't ready for what those changes, I didn't realize how much the depression had become part of my life. There it is. The depression had so saturated everything about me, even my likes and dislikes, right? My taste in music, playing video games, the friends I have, what I choose to do as rewarding work. All of these things were touched by depression. So what happens when you take depression away? That's the big thing. That's what I'm learning. You lose. Or you change, I should say. Not everything is about loss. Some things are just about things changing. And sometimes I'm not ready for it. Because ECT is like a jackhammer to the brain. It's hard on the brain. And so, changes don't necessarily come gently or easily or quickly or anything. And sometimes a change will occur, or I'll be in the process of a change, and I'll have to deal with it. I'll have to live with it. I'll have to accept it. Imagine this idea that every time you do one of these sessions, you're going to be different, right? You don't know how, though. You could be a little different. You could be a lot different, but you're going to be different and you don't have any say. And this is your life. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's only that it's gonna be the bad stuff. It just is change. So if it sounds like I have a stutter, it's because I do. So I'm gonna try to go down to one time a day, or not one time a day, one time a week to get treatment. Because it's just such a fucking long day. I mean, on top of the ECT, it's 5 hours of driving. It's too much. I wanna see how I do without it. And for those that know me, those who are my friends, I want to get your feedback. Because ultimately it comes down to the question, is it worth it? Right? Did it do what it's supposed to do? Did it take care of the Medicaid, take care of the depression? You know, I mean, my PTSD is off the scale. It's crazy. They actually gave me another medication to try to control the PTSD. So apparently, as the depression went down, right, the PTSD went up. And remember, I was talking about like memories with, or maybe I didn't talk about this yet. Memories with feelings. So I'm forgetting a lot of recent stuff, but I'm starting to tap into old memory banks from childhood on up. But these memories are way more powerful than what I could ever imagine. They're like, they're, they have an emotional component, which sounds nice, and it is nice in some respects. But if you think about what PTSD is, apparently I bottled up a shitload of stuff because in the war it wasn't, it didn't affect me. I didn't care. I didn't have connection, right? I just thought I was super awesome. Turns out I'm just neurotypically fucked up. Oh, the PTSD. I think one of the reasons why it's so bad now, in fact, they had to sedate me last week, is, shit. The reason that they had to, see, this is really frustrating, just forgetting all this, just forgetting thoughts, memories, trying to talk and I can't. So I guess that'll wrap that up.